Chapter 7. I was so happy when school started up again. Welcome back, students. Today we will begin preparing for your end-of-year examinations. Gulp. Then again, maybe I should have just stayed home. That day, every single teacher talked about examinations, even arts and crafts, and all we do in that class is make elephants out of mud. Geez, our teachers are really making a big deal about these exams, huh? Well, they are a big deal. If you don't pass, you don't go to school. That's it. The end. I knew that, of course. In Dadaab, any kid can go to primary school, if their families let them, that is, but not every kid can go to secondary school. Look, there are a few primary schools for different blocks, but there is only one middle school, all the way over here, so only the best students from each block get to go to middle school. How many kids from our class will get to go to middle school, do you think? I don't know, maybe 10 students? Or 20? No one really knows. So if we don't pass, no more school. It's strange that just a few months ago, I wasn't even sure that I wanted to go to school, and now I was desperate to stay. If I couldn't go back to my village, I guess I needed something to believe in, like school. I have to keep going to school, Jerry. I have to. I can't stay at home all day either. I just can't. I guess we'd better pass those tests then, together. My stomach felt twisted up all afternoon, and it wasn't even from hunger this time. Exam. We only have 3 months to prepare for this exam, so if you have notes, you'd better start reviewing them. At least I had one advantage. I was one of the few kids who had notes from class. Not like it would do me a ton of good. By the time I walked home and had English classes and played with Hassan and cleaned up and did any repairs around the tent. Rats! It was completely dark and I had no light. Come on, I'm trying to study and work hard. Can't I catch a break? Mom? I've got a lamp and you've got the notes together, right? Jerry and I started studying together every night. Soon other kids heard about our study group and joined us, even Tall Allie's friends. Tall Allie knew better than to try and join us, though. We usually met in my tent. I only had Hassan. Most of the other kids had a bunch of younger siblings to bother us. Only boys from my class came to study. Nemo and Miriam would never be allowed to come study with a group of boys at night. I wonder how they're doing with their studies. It might sound weird, but I kind of liked studying all the time. It felt good to have something to work toward, a goal. I got kind of obsessed. Hassan was not happy about it. Hassan, no, we're studying. Leave us alone. He didn't like that I stayed at school later and later, even on nights I didn't have English classes. I think he wanted me to be on vacation again so we could play together all day. He can't use words to say how he feels, and I think that makes him feel frustrated. Fatuma was having a harder time keeping up with him. He ran away twice in 1 week, but neighbors found him and brought him home. Fatuma started tying the door shut when she took a nap in the afternoons. I don't think he liked being trapped indoors at all. The exams were almost here, though. We only had to hold out for 2 more weeks. I could see some of the other kids at school starting to crack. There was much less laughter coming from the girls' side of the room. You knew something was wrong if Nemo wasn't singing. Our study group was feeling the pressure. Stop clicking your pen. It's driving me crazy. Only if you stop tapping your leg. Hassan, knock it off. We're trying to study. Kick. Hassan, buddy, are you okay? He'll be fine. Let's keep studying. 1 week left. Our teachers were going over last revisions before our exams. I noticed both Nemo and Miriam were absent. I was surprised they would miss this. Important dates to remember. In 1962, the Kenyan Constitution established a bicameral legislature. And then, just like that, school, exams, none of it mattered anymore. Omar, you need to come now. Your brother has been hurt. Salon, what happened? Hassan broke out of the tent while Fatuma was sleeping, and he wandered off. Some kids found him in A3 and took his clothes, and, well, he's hurt pretty badly. Some of your neighbors found him and brought him home and... Slow down! He's wearing new clothes. One of the neighbors must have given them to him. No broken bones, no major injuries. It could have been much worse. It could have been much worse. It could have been worse, but it won't be. Nothing like this will ever happen again. I'm here now. I'm not leaving. Don't worry. Everything will be okay. Jerry came by after school with my notebook, but I told him to keep it. I've been selfish long enough. Obviously, I was wrong about school. I need to be with my brother. The next day, I didn't leave Hassan's side. I was his only family. How could I have forgotten that it was my job to take care of him? Nemo and her mom came by with some food. Everyone says you're quitting school. I need to stay here with Hassan. But hey, that's good news for you and Miriam, right? One less person to compete with for Canada? What? What did I say? It's not you. It's Miriam. Her father has arranged for her to be married next month. He's not letting her take the exams. He says there's no point since she won't be continuing on in school. But Miriam's been studying so hard, and exams are next week. That's so unfair. Omar, I learned not to judge others too harshly. Families here are desperate. Miriam has 3 younger siblings, and her parents need to think about all of them. Her father found a kind man for Miriam, and the money from the union will help the family. But you send Nemo to school. You say it's important for girls to have an education. I am lucky. I have 2 sons who can provide for me, and I can sell my baskets for good money. I can afford to send my daughter to school. There are many people in the world less fortunate than you and I. Remember that, Omar. I had a hard time believing that I or anyone else in this camp was fortunate. Life here was just so unfair. Hassan started to get better, and soon it's the day before the exams. I can't help but think about all my classmates preparing for the tests. I wonder who will pass and who will fail. I wonder how Miriam would have done. I wonder how I would have done. Maybe I can go back to school someday. Hey. Oh, hi, Miriam. I heard you're quitting school. Yeah, I have to take care of Hassan. You of all people must understand. No, I don't understand. I don't understand how anyone would turn down the chance to go to school. Do you think if I were a boy, I'd be forced to quit school? No, I could have gone to Canada. I know I could have done it and brought my whole family with me. Now I don't have a chance. Now I have to marry someone I don't even know, and I'm terrified. Do you understand me? I'm terrified. My dreams, my hopes for my family, they're over, and you're just throwing your chance away. But, Hassan, you're using Hassan as an excuse. You think you're helping him by always hovering over him and trying to fight all his battles for him, but he's more capable than you think he is. He got beat up. I wasn't here to protect him. Everyone in A2 would protect Hassan if he were in trouble. Who brought him home, after all? You're not the only one who cares for him, you know. You have a gift, Omar. You're smart and you're kind. You could help Hassan and other refugees like him, other refugees like me, if you keep going to school. I think you're being selfish. Stop crying, Anissa. We have to go home and make tea. Selfish? Mom told me to take care of you, and that's what I'm doing. How dare she call me selfish? I know. Who you? I didn't tell Hassan any stories that night. Instead, I spent the whole night arguing with myself. I couldn't take the exams tomorrow anyway, even if I wanted to. I haven't studied in a week. And how am I being selfish when I'm just taking care of my family? When Hassan finally fell asleep, I went outside to think. Maybe, outside, I'd understand what my parents would want me to do. But instead of my parents, I found... Fatuma? What are you doing awake? I'm sorry Hassan ran away, Omar. I'm an old woman, and I can't keep up with your brother like I'd want to. Miriam says I'm being overprotective. She says there are lots of people who love Hassan, and that I can't watch for him all the time. Well, that's true. That is a gift that God has given him. Hassan is considerate, helpful, and friendly, and he is loved by many. I never thought being friendly was a gift. I thought it's just the way he is. Maybe I was wrong. Every human is a gift, just the way God makes us, and love is a gift. God has given you the gift of a community of people who will love and protect you and your brother. You should pray to God and thank Him. He will show you what to do next. I don't know if it's technically praying, but I drift off to sleep staring at my brother, and I thank God for all the good things we have. Then it is the next morning, exam day. I say my morning prayers. I wake up Hassan. We go to Fatuma's tent. Miriam is there. I am watching Hassan today. I will change his bandages and I will watch him along with my own brothers and sister. You will go take your exams. But what? But I haven't studied in a week. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe you will fail and you won't have to go to school anymore. Maybe you'll pass and you'll have to figure out your next steps then. But there's only one way to find out. I am giving you a chance, Omar. A chance I don't have. Are you going to take it or not? I know my decision. Thank you, Miriam. Now I understand what Nemo's mom and Fatuma were telling me. I am lucky. So many people love and support me and Hassan. Fatuma, Salon, Miriam, Jerry, and all of our neighbors. I can have faith in my community. I'll be back soon. Help Miriam and Fatuma, okay? We may be refugees and orphans, but we are not alone. God has given us the gift of love. And like Salon told me back when I first started school, when God gives you a gift, it is your job to use it. Dunty! I knew you would come. You think you can just show up on exam day and pass? Good luck with that. I've got all the luck I need, Allie. I wish the same good luck to you. Good luck, Nemo. I don't need luck either. I will pass my exams. I'll pass them for Miriam. I'd never seen my classmates so nervous. They either weren't talking at all or talking too much and too loud. Even for classmates I didn't like, it didn't seem fair. We were all just kids who wanted to go to school. At least in exams, unlike real life, there would be right and wrong answers. Pass or fail. I've done my best. It is in God's hands now. I take a deep breath. Name. Question 1. Part 2. 2 years later. In a refugee camp, everything can change, and nothing can change. I'm still here, so that hasn't changed. But we have a goat. She is one of Fatuma's friends gave it to her when she got resettled to Sweden. Hey, quit biting my shirt. Brownie hates me and is my sworn enemy, but now we have milk to drink and we can sell the extra milk. That means we can sometimes buy things like shoes and clothes. I think that's why Brownie tortures me so. She knows I can't get rid of her. You may have also noticed my swanky new outfit. One of Fatuma's friend's son died, and he was about my size. He had diabetes. I didn't know him, otherwise it might have been weird wearing a dead kid's clothes. Actually, it's still a little weird when I think about it. His heart was beating right here, where my heart is. Sometimes I say a little thank you to him when I put my clothes on in the morning. Dante, let's go! We're going to be late for school. That's right. I'm in middle school. I passed the exams. Hassan? I'm leaving now. I'll be back this afternoon. Hassan? I guess I didn't have to worry so much about leaving him alone. He barely notices I'm gone because he's so busy taking care of Brownie. He gives her fresh water every morning, then he and Fatuma take her on long walks to let her graze. Hassan is really good with animals. I think he would make a much better farmer than me. In the afternoons, while Fatuma takes a nap, Hassan spends time with Miriam. Hi, Omar. Hi, Jerry. Miriam's husband is old, but he's not too strict. He doesn't mind that she spends time with Hassan in the afternoon, or that she still studies with Nemo, as long as her chores get done. Come on, Nemo, we're going to be late. I'll come by after school. Don't forget to ask your teacher that question I had about photosynthesis, okay? Nemo passed her exams too. Of course. She even got the top score for girls. But who knows what would have happened if Nemo, Jerry, and I always walk back to school together. We pass a lot of kids from our block who didn't get into middle school. Hey, you guys, soccer later? Yeah, if we don't have too much homework, sure. I feel bad for tall Allie, even if he is a jerk. I remember how it felt to stay home from school while my friends went to school. Our middle school looks a lot like our primary school, but it's not as crowded. We have 37 boys and 12 girls in our class. We start each day off with assembly. The whole school sits outside and we pour water on the ground so we don't get all dusty. Assembly is usually pretty boring. Teachers tell us about school schedules or club meetings or upcoming exams, but assembly is great when, yes, it's Michael! Michael is our English teacher. I think back in Somalia, he would have been one of those poets Nemo's mom always talks about. Good morning! He has a way of using his words to take you to a different place. Students, I'd like you to close your eyes and imagine the night sky. Now imagine yourself as one of those stars. Your light is bright and shines for millions of miles. Now open your eyes and open them wide. Look at your friends sitting all around you. Throughout your life, people may shout ugly words at you. Words like, go home, refugee, or you have no right to be here. When you meet these people, tell them to look at the stars and how they move across the sky. No one tells a star to go home. Tell them, I am a star. I deserve to exist just the same as a star. How do I know? Because here I am. I am here. The proof is in the stars. Coming from someone else, this speech might sound cheesy, but Michael has a way of making you believe in yourself. Then it's inside for classes. English is first. Today we're reading essays we wrote, in English of course, about what we want to be when we grow up. Omar, you're up. When I grow up, I want to be a social worker with the United Nations. Social workers are nice. They are helpful. They help people get food when they are hungry. They help you see a doctor if you are sick. That is why I want to be a social worker. I still have dreams about our farm in Somalia, but I'm trying to forget. You can't live in the past, and dreams aren't real. Very nice, Omar. You may take your seat. Besides, I think I'd be a good social worker. Maybe I can help make things more fair for refugees who can't stand up for themselves. Next up is Nemo. Come on up, Nemo. When I grow up, I'd like to be a lawyer. Lawyers have to argue cases in court, and I think I'd be good at that. I'll say she'd be good at that. Lawyers can help people know their rights. I want to help women and girl refugees know their rights. I want to make life fair for them. A very worthy goal, Nemo. Thank you. Nemo hasn't talked much about becoming an actress or singer recently. In fact, she's been a lot quieter, period. I haven't heard her sing for the longest time. The other students had your standard answers for what they wanted to be when they grew up. Soccer player, pilot, president of Kenya, president of Somalia. Jerry, my boy, you're up. I sat up straight. I was curious what Jerry had written about. When we talk about the future, he mostly talks about going to America. I could tell Jerry was nervous by the way he was tapping his leg. When I grow up, I'd like to be a teacher, maybe an English teacher. Teachers can inspire their students. They can give their students hope for their future and make them believe they can do anything they want. I think it is a very nice thing to be a teacher. It is indeed a very nice thing to be a teacher. You will be an excellent one. I can just tell that about you. You may take your seat. What a kiss up. A teacher, huh? I tried to catch Jerry's eye, but he just stared at his pencil for the rest of the class. After school, we walked home together as usual. Hey, Jerry, I didn't know you wanted to be a teacher. Go ahead and laugh. I'm not laughing. I think you'd be a good teacher. Yeah, right. Ow. Oh, you would be a good teacher. You've always helped me when we were studying for exams. I got into middle school, didn't I? And you were number 33 when we started. I had very little to work with. Hey, you told me 33 wasn't so bad. Our new walk home took us right by the market. Usually we kept on walking, but today... Hey, can we stop for a minute? My mom wanted me to buy some sugar. I'm supposed to go straight home. Please, you know I don't like to walk through the market by myself. Come on, it will only take a minute. What's with him? Shrug. Of course, Nemo started chatting with the sugar seller, and with the clothes seller, and a neighbor we met on the street. Now can we get out of here, please? Is that my son I hear? Get over here, Limpy. Great, thanks a lot. Hey, look, everyone, it's my son. We call him Limpy. He could barely walk when he was smaller. Jerry's dad looks a lot different than the last time I saw him. His eyes were all red, and his face looked sunken in. He and the men sitting around him were all chewing cot leaves. A lot of the men in camp chew cot. They said it helps you forget things. I can walk now, Dad. Hey, where were you today? Were you in school? Are you still in school? What do they teach you at that school of yours? What did you do today? Speak up, I can't hear you. We read essays we wrote about what we wanted to be when we grow up. Good one. I can tell you what you'll be. You'll be a refugee. And what did I say? And what did you say? What do you want to be when you grow up? I think I maybe want to be a teacher. Yeah, right. I don't think people like you can be teachers, Limpy. And you, what do you want to be? Me, sir? I want to work for the UN. Oh boy, here he goes. The UN? The UN? Don't talk to me about the UN. Worthless crooks. It's their job to help refugees. Do they help me? Do they listen when I say my life is in danger in Somalia and I have to be resettled? No, they help nobody but themselves with their fancy cars and their big compounds. This is what they teach you in school? Fill your heads with crazy dreams about what you can be? Teach girls and tell them they can be anything they want? Nemo kind of hid behind us and kept her head down. And you, my own son, you want to be a teacher? How will you get a job? Refugees aren't allowed to work. My teacher, Michael, he's a refugee. Then they probably pay him 1/10 of what they'd pay a Kenyan for the same work. Us refugees, we are nothing but slave labor around here. Look at you. Look around you. We're surrounded by desert. You're in a prison right now, a giant sprawling prison, and you'll spend the rest of your life here. And that's the real truth your teachers won't tell you about. Now get out of here. Get out of my face. Well, that was uplifting. Shut up. Our walk home was pretty quiet after that. Hello? I'm home. Ever since Brownie entered our lives, no warm welcomes for me. Oh, Omar, you're back. Fatuma, is it stupid of me to be going to school? What's the point of going to school if I can't get a job afterward? Well, we never know what will happen in our lives, do we? God surprises us and provides when he will, like when he brought us Brownie. Everything comes back to that stupid goat. So stay in school, prepare yourself, and educate yourself so you can be ready when God reveals his plan to you. It's like a prison here. You're alive, aren't you? You're going to school. Life is only a prison if you make it one. Think of this more like God's waiting room. That's what this refugee camp felt like, a giant waiting room filled with hundreds of thousands of people waiting and waiting and waiting. Everyone here just wants a place to call home, a place where they can work or go to school, a place where their families will be safe. But how can you have a home when you live in a waiting room? Maybe Jerry's dad is right, because sometimes it sure feels like a prison to me.